Hi everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to use the camera on your Ellisimo to sew along the edge of your fabric and keep a seam allowance that you choose, like be a 1/4 inch or a 5/8 inch or whatever. And the sewing machine is going to look at the edge of the fabric and compensate. So if it's a curve or if you're not holding your fabric totally straight, it'll keep it to that seam allowance. So let's begin. Okay, so to start, we're going to go into our utility and decorative stitches function when we turn our Ellisimo on, because we're going to be doing regular sewing. And down here, let's see if I can get a better look at it here. There we go. This button right here is the one that you're going to hit. That is called the edge stitching button. We're going to touch it, and it's going to tell us to attach the vertical stitch alignment foot and edge sewing sheet. And I'm going to show you what those things are. Okay, now then, in your Ellisimo treasure chest full of stuff, one of the feet, it's this one right here, is the V foot, and that is the vertical stitch alignment foot. So we're going to pull that out. It's got lines on it, has a V on it, and it should be in your treasure chest. Now, the other thing that we need is the edge sewing sheet, and that comes in, I think it's in with the manual and the little stickers that are your positioning stickers. I have mine in the treasure chest. I think that they come and they're in with the manual, but this is what it looks like. You get a couple of them with the machine. This is the edge sewing sheet. So we need this, and we need this. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the sewing machine. Here we are. Alright, so first I'm going to attach the edge sewing foot. It goes on the same as any other snap-on foot. Just raise the presser foot, hit the button on the back, and the foot will drop off. Take my J foot and put it aside. And we're just going to drop the shank down onto the V foot, like that. Now, attaching the edge sewing sheet, you peel it off of the little plastic bit that it comes on. And so now this is free from the little plastic bit that it comes on. What you're going to do is line up, let's see, this edge right here where it makes a little L shape with the opening where the feed dogs are, right there. So I'm going to line it up. And then you also line up these edges here, where these lines are, here and here, with the needle plate. Like that. So these lines line up with the edges of my plastic needle plate. Okay? So once you have that done, just swing over to the sewing machine here, to the screen, you're going to hit OK. And now this is a live action shot of what's going on in there. It's trying to recognize the edge of the fabric right there, and it was my fingers, so it couldn't do it. Alright, so now I'm going to back up, grab some fabric, and we're going to start playing. Alright, so I've got this piece of fabric here that I'm going to do some edge sewing on. It's just a flat piece of fabric, just a straight line to start with, and we're going to do something curved in a minute. But so what you do is you put this in, and you can kind of line up with the markers. I don't know if you can see this in the video or not, but this is 0, 1/4, half, 3, 3/4, 1 inch, all different markings in here. So you line up your fabric roughly with that, and then on the screen it's going to show me what the seam allowance it sees. So I'm going to swing this over so we can see the screen. This is telling me it's at 5.5 millimeters. So I move it over a little bit. Now it displays it in millimeters until you get to either a 1/4 inch. It'll also do a 5/8 inch. Okay, it'll tell you in inches. I don't know why it has to do it that way. If they set it in inches from the beginning, it would be easier. So, but you get it lined up to say a 1/4 inch for a quilter, and we're going to drop the presser foot, and now I can start sewing. So I'm going to move the camera back so that we can see what happens when I start to sew. And of course I didn't bring my foot control, so I'm going to have to use the start button. That's okay. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see the stitches. Alright, here we go. Sewing along, and I'm going to start messing it up. And watch as it compensates for it. I'm purposefully trying to mess this up. And it's actually using the lateral feed of the sewing machine to fix it. And it's changing the needle position too, as it goes, to keep it at a perfect 1/4 inch. And then when I get to the end, it can't see anymore, but it'll remember what it was just doing, so you can finish it off for those last few stitches. And let's see how it did. Let me zoom out a little bit and see it better. Okay, we've got a perfectly straight 1/4 inch seam, even though I was messing with it that whole time. Pretty impressive, no? Okay, this time we're going to do something a little harder. I have a curved piece of fabric here that I'm going to use. And this piece of fabric, I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam all the way along this curve. So what I do is I again put it in there, and I'm not going to move this over so you can see the screen because I think you probably get how that works from before. And I've just moved it until it's at a 1/4 inch. I put my presser foot down, and let's watch this thing do its thing. I'm going to actually zoom in on it here. Oop. I'm not even touching the fabric right now. Of course, I should be because, yeah, it's kind of, well, that's not as impressive because it's all getting rumpled. It's my fault for letting go of the fabric. The seam allowance will be right though, and it's going to get to the end. Yeah, well, I shouldn't have let go of the fabric, but it stayed a 1/4 inch the whole way, and if I'd have kept on holding on to the end of the fabric, it wouldn't have slipped like that. When you're sewing, you don't normally create a video at the same time. I need to get a camera person involved. But anyway, isn't that cool? It's really, really easy to use, and I think there's a lot of people that are intimidated by trying to do this. I just want to show how really easy it is. So let me know if this video is helpful to you. I'm planning to do more on the Ellisimo and the Unity and all the other neat machines now that I have a cool video camera. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.